We're rolling. Strafe is a game. And I don't necessarily have a good way to start the episode.
So Jack!
Rich!
How you doing? Just start things off.
Yeah.
I'm just, because it's always a point of conversation. What does your shirt say today?
It says science is real. It's a They Might Be Giants shirt benefiting the March for Science.
Was this like your 8th They Might Be Giants shirt?
It's my 3rd.
I love They Might Be Giants. I think it's time to switch it up, Jack. It's time to switch it up. They're going to love that.
I really like this.
It's time to switch it up.
Okay, no more that. Well, this is my last one.
This is your last one.
This is my last So unless I purchase another They Might Be Giants shirt, I won't be wearing any more.
You could try, wearing one of the very cool Nerd Crew shirts now on sale at the Red Letter Media Store.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So, today we are talking about Strafe. And Strafe is a first-person shooter roguelike.
Strafe is the hit first-person shooter of 1996.
The most awesome graphics 1996 can handle.
I think we first found Strafe. It was probably the best advertisement in the world.
Absolutely.
Where they got the kid playing Strafe, and he can't handle it, and he collapses, and the little brother takes over, and his head explodes.
Yes.
From all of the awesome action.
And we found out later, we actually got a chance to have a conversation with the developer of the game. We did a little interview with him live on stream one day while I was playing Strafe. And we found out that he is a video producer. That is his job, and so that's why the advertisement looks so good. He's a big fan of these old school commercials, and it looked great. This might be a case where the advertising is better than the game.
Well, it's the expectation that the advertisement set up. I think is the problem, Jack. Sure. Obviously the ad, fast-paced, oh my God, awesome action! And while it's a great commercial, it invokes your old id Software kind of style, fast-paced, run-and-gun shooter. Yep. And then when you start playing Strafe, you want to slow down a bit. It's a roguelike. Yeah. And that means permadeath. And so you don't want to run around willy-nilly and take this big risk that you'll lose a lot of health. You want to hang back, trigger the enemies, go back into the corner and through the doorway, and once they come through the door, you mow them down as they go through the door. Yeah. That's in practice. That is how you play Strafe. Well, at least the first part.
That you have these two very disparate play styles. The first-person shooter aspect wants you to be the big, strong badass. Yeah. Run into a room, take them all down, bunny hop your way around the room. But the roguelike gameplay wants you to slow down, be tactical, be precise. And there's a butting of heads of gameplay styles with this first-person shooter meets roguelike. The first-person shooter aspects are pretty all right. You got your guns. You can choose either a shotgun, a machine gun, or a rail gun, which is kind of like a sniper rifle.
That's only as your main weapon. You get to pick one of three, but in the levels you do find like temporary weapons. You can't reload them, but you might run across a shotgun that's got 10 shells in it.
And actually, as you go on later in the levels, you get some really fun guns. And they all feel all right. Nothing spectacular, nothing bad to say about, like... They have a lot of neat guns. It's just...
But none of the... Oh, they're all meant to be temporary, though. Because you got your one main gun, either the machine gun you pick at the beginning, or the rail gun, or the shotgun. And that's the gun you continually upgrade.
Right.
And you can find machines that, like they turn your normal machine gun into, like, a tri-shot gun.
Mm-hmm. Or you can find a power-up that turns your machine gun into a Gatling gun that slowly builds up momentum so you're shooting 1,000 bullets a second.
Right. Well, they also have a secondary fire, and you can upgrade that, too.
That's right. And that's part of the roguelike element, is every run, it's a dice roll of what power-up you'll get.
This isn't, despite what the advertisement may look like, this isn't just a throwback old school shooter.
Right.
This is a throwback old school shooter as merged with a roguelike.
Right.
Which means, like, difficulty and permadeath. And on one hand, I was excited to play this. Mm-hmm. Because, if it worked, you would have an infinite old school shooter. An old school shooter that is different, slightly different every time you play it. That sounds like heaven.
Yeah.
In reality, I don't know that it works. And I don't know. Here's the question. Does it not work because these things don't mix? Or does it not work because this game doesn't really do the rogue elements right?
Full disclosure, we, as previously recorded, backed Strafe.
Yeah.
In fact, even though I asked them to put previously recorded in somewhere in the game, my name is in the game. They just used my name. Even though...
What the fuck, man?
I specifically asked them to put previously recorded in there. But I was also very excited for this game. I'm a fan of first-person shooters, but I'm more of a fan of roguelikes. I play a shit ton of roguelikes. I don't want to say that Strafe failed, but I believe that the failing of Strafe is in its roguelike elements.
Yeah.
One of the most important things about a roguelike is the variety. The variety in weapons, the variety of enemies, the variety of room layouts. It needs to feel like a unique experience. I really think that as the stages went by and as they were developing the game, they kind of forgot about the room randomization. I've beaten the game, and I've been to the later stages several times, and they all felt like they were the same. You know what to expect. You're never going to be surprised after your first playthrough of the game.
Yeah.
And that's a big failing as far as a roguelike is concerned, because in a roguelike, you should be playing over and over and over again because of the unique experiences. And they fell more on the old school FPS side for Strafe, where this really just should have been an old school FPS. Like,
I'm not convinced that a FPS roguelike can't work really well. I just don't know that Strafe gets there with the roguelike elements. Like one of the keys of something like Binding of Isaac is the different items you get that change the way your character functions completely. All of the items in Strafe kinda blah.
There is no item you get in Strafe that will drastically change how you play Strafe.
Yeah.
and that's a big failing. In Strafe, you can get a thing that makes you double jump.
You can get a thing that sucks in scrap that's near you, India. That's underwhelming. It's underwhelming.
It's underwhelming, I think, is an understatement.
You also get like little upgrades to, like, you know, your clip size or your damage. You know, I think they're just so incremental though. You don't feel the build up.
Right.
I got like 2/3 the way through the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a lot stronger than I was at first, wasn't I? It's like I didn't even realize leveling up was happening. I didn't get that satisfying
Right, and you know, part of me is okay with that.
Yeah.
Because that kind of is the natural difficulty curve. As you move through, you get better. After I beat the game, there was nothing compelling me to play it again. Another tenement of a really good roguelike is layers of mysteries, kind of unofficial side quests. Things that you can achieve in a game that maybe even don't necessarily make you win the game, it's just a fun little aside.
Like Isaac with its secret last levels, or if you get the end boss. Well, next time you go through, well, that's not really the end boss. It's just another stage after that.
Yep. You have to do A, and then A leads to B, and then if you can do B just right, you get to C and D, and then you get the super secret awesome ending. And Strafe does some things like that.
But the problem is, Strafe does it way too obtuse. I would have had no idea some of this stuff was in Strafe.
Yeah. Some of it might be the inherent flaws of the first-person presentation of it. Like, for example, playing Luftenstein, the little arcade game reminiscent of Wolfenstein. In order to do that, you need to shoot the dead body in level 1-1, and you get a coin. And then once you get that coin, then in level 1-2, you can play Luftenstein arcade game. But I'll be honest with you, I never even noticed I picked up a coin. I would always shoot the body, and I knew I got something, but I never knew what I got.
I noticed the coin, and I picked it up every time. I would have had no idea that was connected to Lufenstein. It's like they really needed to have like a little animation where you see the coin go in there. Like, oh, that's what that coin was for.
In Icarus, there are secret gun rooms. And in order to get them, you have to throw a barrel at just the right part of a wall. And in other games, usually they give you a little clue. And you have to know what you're looking for, but if you can look just right, you can make a good guess at where the secrets are. Apparently, and I've read this online, apparently, if you enter a room, sometimes you will see a bug. And if you follow that bug, the bug will crawl under a wall where the secret door is. And then you throw a barrel at that wall and you open up the secret room. I have 40 plus hours into Strafe. I have never seen a bug.
I would never think to throw a barrel at a wall to get a secret. No shooter I've ever known has done that.
Right, and
you shoot the wall, or you do the use button on the wall. That's how you open a secret area in a shooter.
Well, and you know what? I will accept throw a barrel.
Yeah.
I will accept throw a barrel at a wall. Here's the bullshit part. Is one, I never saw a bug. And I went looking for bugs. I never saw a bug. Two, apparently, according to the internet, there is a timer. So I found this super secret way to find the secret room, which is you mute all audio, but the game doesn't mute the audio from the secret room. So you mute all audio, walk around every single wall, and you can hear where the secret room is. So then I threw the barrel at the wall where the secret room was. It didn't open. What the fuck? I found the secret room. Because apparently after the bug crawls under the wall, an invisible timer starts. And if you don't throw the barrel at the wall within the given time, it won't ever open.
See, that's the designers not wanting you to play safe. But you as the player knowing that's the smart way to play.
Yes. And it's bullshit. What it does from a roguelike perspective, from a player who wants to play a roguelike, it de-incentivizes me looking for secrets. I want to look for secrets on my own time.
They want you to look for secrets on their time.
Yeah, fuck that. I felt actually really good about beating the game. Like, oh, I did it. It was really difficult. I did it, had an adorable little ending. And then I just didn't care to play anymore. I wasn't invested in any of the secrets. I wasn't invested in speed running or finding all the little layers. And I think all of that is because of the weak roguelike elements.
I think I will agree. I don't think it's terrible.
Yeah.
I think Strafe's a neat little diversion. Mm-hmm. It's not going to hold my attention for very long, but you know what? It's good for a quick 20-minute jaunt into a shooter every now and then.
Yeah.
I think to some degree it's a victim of its own advertising. Oh, super hot action, awesome. And then, a little bit slower paced, roguelike. Keep it, it's a victim of that.
He's too good of a video producer.
Yeah. And you're right. The roguelike elements are a little bit too weak. Yeah. You need that variety. You need items that you're excited to get that item.
Yep.
Because this changes the way this run's gonna go. Oh, now I'm having a good run because I got this item and that item and these two items. Well, I can do amazing things with those.
Yep. I'm gonna call this an official Steam sale game.
Yeah.
I'm sure eventually it's gonna hit a Steam sale where you can get it for like $10. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Really cute, pretty clever. Just won't hold your attention for very long.
Yeah. There's just too many good things out right now. No, really, isn't that true?
We're golden age, Rich. We're in a golden age of games.
Do you know Vanquish just came out on Steam? Huh?
No, Richard.
It worked, people. It worked. Hashtag bring Vanquish to PC. It worked.
So by the way, you're welcome.